number one thing is don't judge a book by its cover.
Oh.
That's the number one thing. The most successful people have tried one more time. By 3 o'clock, I'm at work.
Yeah, by 3 o'clock every day.
Yeah.
We are talking AM, not PM.
AM, yeah.
I just heard you on the phone.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna guess who you were talking to. You were probably talking to one of the guys that is working for you, one of the managers,
Yep.
who is looking to employ somebody.
Yes.
And from conversation that I picked up, you just said to your manager, when you're interviewing that guy, make it very clear to him, if he lies to us once, he's out.
Yes.
I love that.
It's no bullshit, right?
No bullshit. Straightforward.
Yeah.
I'm offering you a job.
Yes.
I'm giving you opportunity to earn money for your family.
Yep.
This is the place where we like to have fun, but we work.
Yeah.
So if you want to fuck around, bullshit,
Yeah.
come drunk to work, this place ain't for you.
Well, you won't be coming to drunk to work because before you even start, you have to do a drug and alcohol test.
Do you get everybody to do that?
Yep. I brought that policy in probably about 5 years ago because I had a lot of guys, we're in the construction industry, I had a lot of guys doing drugs. And the way I brought it in was I went to the doctors, I did a blood test because I have to lead by example.
Of course.
So I did a blood test. I don't blood test my guys. I've got the ability to if I need to.
Yes.
But everybody has to go for a full medical, get checked, hearing, everything, and a drug and alcohol test.
So, Chris, you've been running company that sells glass.
Yeah, no, we manufacture and
windows.
install aluminium windows and doors.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but what's interesting, you're running your fucking business like professional soccer team.
Yeah.
Because I follow soccer in Europe, and this morning we spoke about sport a bit. I follow soccer a lot in Europe, and every time when there's a big transfer, if one player is going to another team, they do full medical test.
Yeah.
So you're running your freaking business like...
I want to get the most out of it, right?
Yes.
And going back to speaking about, so I was speaking to my operations manager, who I've been training for the last year and a half to run the factory, so I don't have to go there.
Yes.
A gentleman applied for a job twice last year. He applied. We brought him in. We were bringing him in for an interview,
Yes.
and he pulled the pin the first time. The second time he applied, we said, "All right, we'll send you for a medical." Day before the medical, he pulled the pin.
Right. So that
He sent me an email yesterday.
Straight away, red card.
Yeah, but he sent me an email yesterday
Yes.
saying, "Look, I know it's a long shot. I made a mistake. Should have followed through. I didn't. Would you potentially give me a chance?" Yesterday before your dinner, I rang my operations manager. I said, check your email. I've emailed you this. Ring the guy, ask him what happened, why. We need to know what made him tick and what happened because I'm a strong believer everyone deserves a chance. And he spoke to him and I said, go with your gut. So the guy had a fair enough reason. It wasn't cracked up to be what it thought it was going to be. He wants to spend more time with his family. I'm a big family man. So, okay, give him a chance. And that's what you heard me say. There's no liars in my business.
Yes.
If you lie to me, you're out. But if you tell me the truth, I can work with you. I'm willing to help you. And that's pretty much how I build a good culture in the business.
I love that. Now, the thing is, interesting thing you say, sometimes us in business, we make mistakes too.
Yes.
As a business owners. I mean, I always say we make mistakes every fucking day, right? But one thing that sometimes most people, if somebody applies for the job, not once, but twice, they're not going to even give them the third shot because they would think to themselves, well, you fucked me around twice. Why the hell am I going to even waste my time actually giving you opportunity for me to even talk to you about the job? You didn't show up. But the reality is people do hit different problems in their lives. That is a fact. So maybe, so for you guys to have that ability to, you know what, tell us. Why didn't you show up last time? So you always give people opportunity.
Yeah, have to be because in life, like people go through multiple facets. Something happens. Kids. I mean, I've had my daughter. She's had a multiple heart operation. So I mean, I've had many stages in my life where I've had challenging times. The best way that I have retention in employees is most of the time has been giving somebody a chance and working out what makes them tick.
Yes. Now, business, running any business, I always say, as a business owner, you come last.
Yes.
Because you're responsible for others. When
Yep.
you employ somebody, it's always two-way street. They need to do the right thing by yourself as a business owner, because you can't just pay somebody for not doing anything. Otherwise, you go broke yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But two, yourself, you have to be responsible for people that you employ. Your job is to make sure you get enough business, you generate enough business so you can actually look after them. Before you started your own business, you used to work for other people.
That's right.
And 15 years ago, you made a decision, you want to start your own company.
Yeah.
How did you find the transition going from being employed by somebody else and not having responsibilities that you have today?
So I got sacked on the way to win a job for somebody.
So you were working for a company that
Yep.
installed...
Manufactured and installed aluminium windows and doors. I was an estimator.
Yes.
And I had a disagreement with the boss on the way that I was driving to the project to
Yes.
have the final meeting to sign a contract. And the employer at the time said he had a disagreement about something. He said, that's right. I said, what do you want me to do about this job? And he said, well, I don't care. I've got my staff.
That disagreement you had with him, was it your fault?
No, it wasn't. So he had employed a female receptionist.
Yes.
And at the time, she wanted to be in everybody's business.
Yes, yes.
So I put a password on my computer.
Yes.
And she didn't like that. She told the boss, and he got upset about that.
Yes.
So that's what started the whole
Yes.
thing. And at the time, that employer was heavily under the influence of drugs and alcohol.
Yes.
So he wasn't thinking straight. He was running this business, getting cash, going, playing pokies. It was a very bad employment to be in.
Yes.
And yeah, he sacked me on the way to win the job. And I said, what do you want me to do with it? It was a $50,000 project.
Yes.
He said, I don't care. I've got my team. They'll get $1 million in work. So I rang my dad. I said, what do you want to do? He said, go and do that job. Tell him we'll do it. And we did.
So you won your own job.
Yeah, won my own job.
Yeah.
And that 50,000 turned into 150,000 on the project with variations,
Yes.
which then led into $900,000 worth of work in that first 12 months. So my dad had a company that he was subcontracting to other companies from.
Yes.
So essentially,
Because your dad was into the same in the same industry, right?
yeah.
And you used to work for your dad,
with my dad,
with your dad.
because I became a director of his business. He was the installer.
Yes,
I was the
yes.
estimator.
Right.
So I was the guy winning work, but I had the trade background because I worked with him when I was younger
Yes.
to learn how to manufacture and install. So I've done it from the bottom up.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then we became partners.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you decided to go on your own.
And then we
later.
had some challenging times at that
Yes.
time. So then I started my brand.
Yes.
And then he ended up working for me for a period of time, and now he's retired.
So being in business for 15 years, I've got a few questions for you.
Yep.
What would you say is the hardest part of running your business or any fucking business?
I think if as soon as you deal with staff, I think that's the number one.
Yes.
Sorry, that's number two. Number one is making sure that you don't deal in emotions. Don't make decisions with your emotions. That was the hardest thing I had to combat. I was 22, 23 years old.
Yes,
And, you get upset about certain things.
And at 22, 23, you're still fucking growing yourself.
I'm growing,
You know,
yeah.
I mean, you don't have the knowledge that you have right this second.
That's
so you're
right.
still developing yourself as a
Yeah.
fucking human,
Yeah.
not alone business person, full stop.
Yeah.
That's very interesting that you say, there's that old saying, if you're angry at somebody, just shut the fuck up.
That's right.
Cool off for a day or two
Yep.
and then have a conversation. That conversation, 9 out of 10 is going to finish differently because
Yes.
two of us can get pissed off at each other for something stupid. We might say stuff, but saying something to somebody, you can hurt them.
Yep.
People get hurt emotionally. It might take them, time to recover. But cooling off a little bit and then having a conversation could be a different ballgame.
It certainly is.
So controlling emotions, massive.
Huge. Don't ever make decisions based on emotions. And I've had angry builders ring me and they're going off, and I say to them, look, I need to end the phone call because I need to remain professional.
Yeah.
So I will talk to you later. Have a great day. And I hang up, and they get dumbfounded because they're not paying me to cop their abuse, and
Yes.
I'm not going to stand with it. But at the same token, I'm not going to get angry and fire back. So I
like
let it
that.
cool down. And the next day I ring him and I say, look, I apologise I hung up on you. I apologise.
Even he was an asshole.
Yeah. Because I'm better than that, you know. But I didn't want to get myself upset, and I wanted to remain professional. Because while I'm professional, I can service you and deal with those problems in the best light.
Yes.
This was the problem. Here's my solution. Let's act on it. Are you happy? No problems.
And to be honest, big thing you just said there. Talking to an angry person is no different talking to somebody who's drunk.
That's right.
No fucking difference. And if I'm sober and you blind, or vice versa, we got nothing in common.
Yep.
Now, what the fuck am I gonna? If I'm drunk and you sober, what are we gonna talk about? They're two different planets.
Yep.
And same way with anger, no different whatsoever. When one person is angry, if the second person gets angry as well,
it's like standing in front of a bull with a red flag. You're not going to do that, are you?
You know, I heard a saying other day. There was a gentleman, he was married for 70 years. He was 90, I don't know, 3, 4 years old. He's been married over 70 years. And one lady asked him, hey, what the fuck is the secret to being married, not for 5 years, 72, 3 years? I mean, that's a long time, right? And so what he did, he pulled little thin, what do you call the thing that you sew?
A needle and thread?
Thread, just a very thin thread.
Yep.
So he put the thread between two people, and he said, you pull it. And both parties pulled it their own way, thread broke straight away, very thin. And he said, that's marriage as well, or any relationship. So in marriage or any relationship, that thread, one person will be angry, they're going to be pulling. The other person has to let go.
Yeah.
And doesn't break.
It's called compromise.
It's called compromise. Because when you are talking to that builder who's, for example, angry, he's pulling his way because he's angry as fuck.
Yeah.
And if you pulled your way angry, fire.
Yeah.
That thread would break in half. But what you did, you let go a little bit.
Yeah.
And you know what? It didn't break. Tomorrow, called him again. He's calm. That thread is still fucking there.
And the next day he apologised.
And who won? Everybody.
Yeah, and he said, I wish I could be more professional like you in those times. I get a bit hot-headed.
Yeah. And to be honest, I do believe that, you know, the art is learning how to control emotions. And even that skill, you're not fucking born with it, you know what I mean? And I remember when I was in my 20s, completely different to where I am right now. And, you know, and also one thing that I realized, every time if I get upset or angry, I'm a fucking heart attack walking.
Yes.
You know, and stress is the biggest cancer I personally believe that exists out there, because it can kill you like anything else.
Of
and
course.
more pressure you put on yourself, any issue, buddy, let's put it on the table. If we can't find solution to the problem that we both have while we calm, I promise you, when we both pissed off, ain't gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, it can be. So interesting. So that's your controlling emotions, and then challenge with people.
Yeah. I think because when you employ people, everybody has their own life, they have their own problems, they also have their own goals and ambitions. So you need to cater to that as well. So a big thing that I like to do every year is sit down with my staff individually and ask them where they think they can improve in, you know?
Yes.
What their goals are for the year. What do you want to achieve in life, in your business? All right. And how can I help you?
Yes.
So what can I do in my job to support you better to cater to your needs? Now, I sat down with one of my estimators at the start of the year, and I said to her, okay, what do you want to achieve? And she told me, and I said, okay, where do you think your give me 5 of your biggest weaknesses. And I wrote them on a whiteboard in the office. I said, okay. And now I started planning on how I can help her overcome those 5 weaknesses.
Yes.
Because if she gets better at those 5 weaknesses, she's going to add more zeros to the business, but she's also going to add more zeros to her value.
And also, to be honest, that's amazing to see, because I do that with a lot of my staff. I talk to them, especially early in a year. Let's talk about next 12 months. where would you like to be?
Yeah.
But I said, now, if you don't take action, if you don't make a plan for you to get there, that will be just a dream that never becomes reality.
Yeah.
And the reality is, in 12 months, you can do so much, and you can also do fuck all.
Yeah.
Fuck all is, two of us, we can say, you know what, let's start this business and just talk about it for 5 years and never started.
Yeah.
So with any time, anybody sits and organizes their goals for 12 months or 5 years, you gotta then create a plan and baby steps how you actually get there. And it's called chipping it away every single day. You're not gonna go from step A to step Z overnight. It takes time. What's the biggest joy you running your business?
Biggest joy?
Yes.
I think I'm passionate about what I do with windows. I've got a lot of knowledge, been doing it for a very long time. My biggest joy has to be the culture in the business and the people. I enjoy working for the people I work for. For one of the very first times in my life, I can tell you I feel supported by all of my staff, and they all are encouraged by my thoughts and my ideas, and I come up with these ideas. I want to implement this or implement that, and they back me. And so
but that's because you lead by example.
Yeah.
While we were driving, to my home here, you said to me, you leave your home every morning 2:30.
Yeah, I wake up at 2:30.
You wake up 2:30.
Yeah,
Get
I go
ready.
to work. By 3 o'clock, I'm at work.
Yeah, by
Every
3
day.
o'clock every day.
Yeah.
We are talking AM, not PM.
AM. Yeah.
Every day.
Yep.
So you start first
Yeah.
and you finish
I
last.
finished last.
You lead by example.
Yeah.
And what people don't realize, you still have kids,
Yep.
wife. So
Yep.
there's a family life. So it's not just, okay, I'm single, I can work 30 hours a day,
Yep.
who cares?
Yep.
You actually have other responsibilities as well, which
Yep.
is probably why you're doing everything you do, full
Yeah.
stop. How do you maintain that strength within yourself to wake up every morning, 2:30, and go to work and start work at 3 o'clock and want to be there?
I think you kind of condition yourself, right? So over the years, I've been doing this for the last 5 years now, and I just conditioned myself to wake up. It's not easy,
Of course.
but my mindset is, okay, I'm going to get uninterrupted, what I like to call a power hour, uninterrupted work from 3 till, let's call it 5 o'clock in the morning, so there's 2 hours. What I can get done in 2 hours, it takes somebody else 4 hours to do.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Then I get 2 hours in the afternoon, so that's 8 hours. So every day I do, that's my competitors' 2 days.
So you're ahead.
So I'm ahead. 1 week, 2 weeks. I do 6 months, that takes them 12 months to get to where, so I'm able to then do that, and that drives me because I want to be ahead of the competition. I don't want to be the biggest but I strive to be the most innovative and the best that I can be every day.
Yes.
And I think that's how I do that. But then I've got a good wife, and she supports me, and I think that's paramount to success. Without a partner that encourages you, she's totally a different mindset to me. So she has a beauty business herself, and we complement each other.
Yes.
And she gives me thoughts that I can't even think of, and I think that's the key to driving me every day.
There was Scott. I'm not sure if he can bring this or find this video and put it on this podcast.
What's the most important decision you're going to make in your life? What do you think it is?
Who you marry?
The spouse. The most important decision you make in your entire life is the spouse, because the wrong one is a disaster. The right one is fantastic. Now, I've had the right one for 68 years. Everything we've done together as a team. It's been wonderful. Absolutely. I couldn't ask for a better relationship than I have with my wife.
There was a very well-known billionaire in America, and his name is not coming to my head. Anyway, this billionaire is 94 years old, and on somebody else's podcast, guy's worth over 10 billion. On somebody else's podcast, somebody asked him, what is the one key thing for your success in your business and life? First thing he said, spouse. He said, your partner.
Yeah.
He said, you find a partner that is encouraging you, supporting you to do better, and you find a partner who is opposite. He said, you'll see how far you're going to go. Big difference. So he said that was for him the main thing. And obviously in business, you see it all. You see people go bust on you. You see people owe you money. You see people come. You see people go. You see it all.
Yeah.
Right person at home you go to, she's there. Business, you can go bust tomorrow.
Yeah.
But if the right one is there for good and bad time, makes a whole difference. Because us as a business owners, people think that we are Superman. You run your own business, you know it all, you're the strongest person, and I always tell people, I can handle a lot of pressure. And one thing I always say, the one that can handle the most pressure is going to go the furthest. But I also say this, we are also fucking human, buddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fucking, there were times in my fucking life where I wanted to go home, put a pillow over my fucking head and cry like a little baby 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're also human. And not having somebody to talk to sometimes, man, and people think, like I always say, when people walk into my office to ask me something, I always tell them, let's just make something clear. I'm not the smartest person in the world.
Yeah.
If you all have a brain, I need you to come here with solutions before I give you my answers, because what I say doesn't mean I'm right.
Yes.
Again, I only know what I know, right?
Yep.
So I think that expectation out of us as a business owners, it is very high, and we put a huge expectations out of ourselves. But having right person when you get home to doesn't make your life harder, makes it like if I come home and if I come home 9 o'clock, and I understand my partner might want to talk to me for 2 hours, but if I'm exhausted, just let me lie on that bed and pass the fuck out because I got no energy.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about fucking some shit that is irrelevant. Catch me in the morning when I'm fresh. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just a massive difference. I got a question for you. Last 4 years, it's been very tough for anybody in construction.
Yes.
That is many factors. Obviously, COVID didn't help with that.
Yes.
Shortage of everything.
Yep.
Shortage of labor, shortage of materials, construction prices went up. Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong, 20 to 60%. All depends on the field within the construction.
Within 12 months.
Within 12 months.
40 to 50% within 12 months.
Within 12 months.
Yeah.
Normally, in any business, including yours, materials, everything, they go up over 10, 15 years and gradually. Not like this.
No.
And a lot of people in construction, so for example, if you give a builder fixed quote and the chain was just effective. So it starts like this. For any builder to do a construction job for somebody else, he would get all the quotes from suppliers and contractors, you being one of them.
Yeah.
So he would collect all the cost, and cost is $2 million, for example, for a project. Now, he would put his margin, which is allowed, like yourself as a business owner, everybody needs to make $1.
Yep.
So he might put, let's call it 20% margin.
If that, on a commercial, 2%, but
Let's call it 20. One of the largest builders that I know the owners very well. Their margins is like 1.7 fucking percent. On a $3 billion, like what the fuck. But let's call it 20%, which is very rare in construction. So it's 2 million cost that he's got all the costs from every contractor and supplier. He might have 20% margin. Let's call it 2.4 million. And he signed that contract with a person homeowner who wants to build a house. Within 12 months time, first of all, it might take a couple of months time for him to get on the fucking site, right? Now, if construction prices go up by 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% that fast, it goes for you. So you have to go to builder and he said, hey, buddy, I gave you a quote of $100,000.
6 months ago.
6 months ago. And normally in 6 months' time, prices really shouldn't go up. If do, might be fucking 1%, a little. But now that 100,000, I'm sorry, Mr. Builder, is costing me 140. I have to charge you more money. So your 100 grand became 140. Now that $40,000, he can't. If he had a fixed contract himself with that person who wants to build a house, They don't have to tell him, I'll give you extra 40.
That's
and
right.
that's just one supplier and installer, which is yourself. But there's another fucking 50 contractors.
Yep.
So if 50 contractors ask for 20, 30% more, he loses the money himself. If he goes bust halfway through construction, everybody goes bust, including yourself. Yeah, he said, I'm going to give you 140 grand instead of 100. You already installed half of the windows. So many people got affected. So many good people, good contractors, good suppliers, great builders. Everybody got caught. How the fuck did you survive?
Yeah, that was a tricky one, right? So in COVID itself, we were doing commercial projects. I actually got on the front foot before everybody else, and I sort of said to my suppliers, okay, this job's going to go ahead from this date to that date. We're going to pre-order the material with you. So we've locked that in. It's you hold it. I secured my glass for 6 months. So my prices when I priced the jobs were a little bit higher. But I said to the builder, look, this is the best I can do for you. We can pre-order material. So you pay me for it. I'll order it and store it. So you've got it. And with the glass, I've secured it for 6 months only.
Yes.
And a lot of them said yes. Now, I did lose a little bit of money along the way because I was doing commercial projects.
Yes.
But then when I pivoted the business to do the luxury home market, its payment terms are completely different.
Yes.
And it's pretty much, this is your quote. If you want to go ahead, you sign, you pay me 50% deposit on the supply-only portion.
Yes.
So as soon as they pay the deposit, I'm ordering materials.
Yes, using that money to order.
Straight away. And I store it. So my big purchases like aluminium and hardware was covered. And my glass supplier at the time was happy to lock in their price.
So you were kind of smelling what potentially could happen and let me improvise and see what I can do to potentially protect myself.
That's right.
You were probably one of the fucking only ones. And the reason why I said that, because in construction, with COVID, just nobody knew what the fuck it is, right? You know, we didn't know if the prices would go up by 5%, by 70%. It's unknown. I mean, you know, business in general is half of the time is unknown, not alone, you know, getting... And one thing that I say, for anybody in construction who survived COVID times, they learned a lot, built a thicker skin. Next 10 years is kind of when you're in a ring with fucking Mike Tyson, you learn a few things being punched in the face. And I feel like there's the COVID as well. One thing is being in business. We discussed this morning before the podcast. I didn't discuss it with you. I spoke to you about it, but I spoke to Justin, another One Life Club member. In business, there's going to be good and bad times. No point ever whinging, because what you do, you chose that.
Yes.
So when you choose your profession, whatever the hell it is, no point whinging. You know, and it's never going to be that clear run. You know, where you're going to bloody end up full stop. How do you balance family life and working like a bulldog?
Oh, it's very difficult. I have to say it's very difficult. Look, I was talking to my wife about this the other day. I don't go out with my mates. I don't see my mates very often. I don't go anywhere. I don't go to the pub. I don't play the puggies. I don't get pissed. I don't do drugs. I don't do anything. So my family time is my wife's giving me a non-negotiable. Sunday. Sunday is family day. And I do still try, hey babe, can I
No.
Can I go to work?
No, babe.
What about between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m? You're still in bed.
It doesn't matter to you.
Sunday's family time. So look, besides that, it's, you know, my wife and I like to spend time and go out for dinner. But then I've got to pick up my son at 3 or 5 p.m. from daycare. And I give him 100% of my time and effort.
You there.
I'm there. And that's the only way I can be.
But at the end of the day, you're doing this for them as well.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
know what I mean? And the sacrifice of running your own business, it's...
And my wife knows that. I mean, I'm funny when you were saying before about, you know, if it goes wrong, etc., if you've got the right partner. I was laying in bed with my wife not too long ago, and I said, "What? I got this idea, but what if it doesn't work?" And and I lose it. And you know what she said to me? She goes, well, if that means we're living in a cardboard box together, then we're living in a cardboard box. And that's when you know, right?
She's the keeper, man.
She's the one that, you know, she doesn't care.
Yeah.
She just wants you to be the best that you can be and don't give up.
Nothing worse than holding somebody back.
Yeah.
All my mates, when I see them do better than me, I am encouraging them, go harder.
Yeah.
Go be better.
Yeah.
Go do more.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one thing that we're trying to build with One Life Club as a community. We just want people to support each other, man. You know, because business is tough. Do you think any young kid would ever start a business if they really know how hard it is to be in business? Because let's think about this. Both of us are running our own businesses.
Yeah.
And we're laughing. But if two of us want to sit on my fucking balcony and talk about how tough it is, it will be like, fuck, man, it's been hard times.
That's right.
It's been, I mean, we can all handle, like this podcast, we are laughing, right? But there are sometimes shit that we deal in our businesses, like fucking, you know, you're getting challenged and whatever the issues are or problems or whatever it is. So, do you think anybody would start their business if they know all the shit that's in it?
No, look, I think a lot of people see, they might see your mill and see your nice cars, but they don't know. I was actually talking to somebody last night at the dinner. They don't know all the blood, sweat and tears that you had to put into to even get anything, you know, or how many sleepless nights you had. Or
well, I always tell people, what I have today took me only 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years, that's right. But
and I said, 30 years, I said, to anybody, you know, a lot of young people, they might stop me on a traffic light and they ask me two questions. Oh, what do you do and how do I get there? I said, first of all, what I do, you shouldn't do. You need to do what you want to do. You know, doesn't mean what I do, it's for you, right? We all have a different fucking strength and so on. I said, took me only 30 years. He said, 30 years? How can we have that in 2?
Yeah.
I said, very easy. Turn on the fucking movie and watch it there. That's the only way you're going to fucking see it. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So 30 years. And yourself, you're 39 now.
Yes.
15 years of running your business, that you can write fucking books.
Of course. If you, there's a saying, right? If you want to succeed as much as you want to breathe, look, young entrepreneurs, if they think that it's going to be easy, it's not. And if they knew that from the start, a lot of them probably wouldn't start.
Yes.
Or they give up.
Or you know how easy it is to give up?
Yeah.
Very easy.
And do you know what I call it? When I go for a tough time, I call it being in the bottleneck of the Coke bottle, right?
Yes.
That much pressure is building up.
Yeah.
But I know very shortly that lid's coming off and then we go again.
Yes.
You know, and that always happens when you're in business. You get put in a tough spot. But the most successful people have tried one more time.
There was a saying that I have to look at this data again. There's like 80% of very successful people failed at least once, 2 or fucking 5 times. I have a guest speaker that's coming to a One Life Club summit.
Yeah.
Amazing guy. You're going to meet him in person. His name is Albos fella.
Yeah.
Great friend of mine. I have a pleasure of knowing him. Anytime I ever ask for him, is as a friend, you want to have that guy in your corner.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck I ask, always there. And so I'm going to find a message to read to you. One thing that he did, he tried and failed 17 times. Imagine trying and being in business, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 5, not 7, 17 fucking times. Surely it's gonna come time when you're gonna say, you start beating yourself up. I'm not good. I'm terrible. I'm bad. Business is not for me or whatever. 18th fucking time, he started a company called Cardwise.
Yeah.
Next thing is he sold it for $63 million.
Wow.
Now he started another company called Car Expert and is worth 4 or 5 times that. But 17 times his stick let me keep trying again and again and again and again and again, and he didn't fucking give up. Didn't give up 17 times. So that's business for you, because you might want to manufacture fucking some new Windows or new technology. You might fuck it up 17 times too.
Yeah.
Easy thing is like, I tried 3 times. This is not for me. We can never make this work. But fucking try 17 times. Takes energy, money, strength, and point where like fucking how much I have. He's one of our guest speakers at our summit. But I want to touch base on this. I'm going to read you a message that he sent me, which was awesome. I asked him if he can be a guest speaker, and over text. And I said, Simon and I have One Life Club Summit over 3 days. We got 350, 400 people, and we would love to have you as a guest speaker for 1 or 2 hours. And his response is, sure, no problem. 7th of February is fantastic. And I responded to him, you know what? Since I met you over 8 years ago, every time I asked anything of you, you always said yes. Very grateful of all the support you have given me over the years. And his response is, of course, for a good cause and a good person, why wouldn't I? And you also always have helped me out, my friend. That's how life works. See that?
Amazing.
And you know what? Being this went from never giving up to having good people around your corner. It's so fucking critical,
It is.
And one thing that I always say in business, 2 things that got me to where I am. One is my insane energy, because without good energy, when you hit fucking hard times, if you don't have that positive mindset and energy, you can beat yourself up and fucking quit. And 2, I'm a relationship builder.
Yes.
But the way you build a relationship, you got to do something for others so they can be good to you.
Of course.
It can't be just one-way street. Hey, Chris, I want you to do me 1,000 favors. And if Chris needs something, I'm not there. It doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't.
So when you're good, and that's something for the young generation to learn, you got to be fucking good to others.
Yeah. Be, like I was saying to you earlier in the car, you got to be authentic. Be yourself. Be real. And you're right. You need to be able to help others. And I think the great thing about One Life Club, when we're sitting there in the sauna and the spa today, is
an ice bath. Don't forget.
An ice bath. It's bloody freezing, right? Is the guys were all, guys and ladies were all saying the same thing. It's great that we can be in a community of like-minded people, and we can have a chat. We don't stand to benefit from advice we're giving others.
Yes.
And I think that's, having a good network is sort of what you're talking about.
Yes.
Is so important. And that does help you go far in business.
Oh man, it's good people around you can make a difference. And also when you have good humans around you, small things somebody can say can change direction of your life and business.
Of course.
Because we all know what we know. I mean, I'm not an astronaut, we all know what we know. And having good people that can give you a bit of advice, or they have done something that you want to do and don't do it that way, save time here, it can be so good.
It's amazing.
How do you as a business owner, we all get judged, right? And quite often in Australia, people talk about this tall puppy syndrome.
Yep.
People want to people maybe want to see you do okay, but not fucking really good, or not better than them, and so on.
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
Well, look, I'm covered in tattoos. So I get judged all the time.
You know what's interesting? I have tattoos, not as many as you, but I got 7, 8. And a lot of my great friends, they have tattoos you can, like, way more than you do, right? Yeah. And when you see them, and some of them they're big boys, and like, for example, I got guys that actually do glass for me, but they only do like swimming pool glass and glass balustrades. They don't do windows and stuff. 4 of them, when you see them, they're big Samoan guys. Each guy is 170, 180 kilos. When you see them full of tattoos, or like tough. Yeah. You start speaking to them like yourself, like, man, these people are like teddy bears. They're beautiful. They're great humans. And in business, we do get judged. This tall puppy syndrome.
Yeah.
You know, do you just like, I don't give a fuck. It's your problem. How you think. You can't get affected by me. Life goes on.
I've got thick skin.
Yeah.
So I sleep easy at night. And I think that's my superpower.
That is
sleeping easy at night. As soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm asleep. Do you know
Do
why?
you get judged by having tattoos on?
Of course.
Even in this age, I mean, look at this. Let's talk about professional sportsmen.
Yeah.
You pick me a freaking sports person that people look up to that doesn't have a tattoo. I don't even know one.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
talk about, from soccer, Ronaldo, for example, Messi, Ibrahimovic, all the big stars. You go to NBA.
Yeah.
Like if you find a player
Covered.
with a tattoo, you'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You almost want to judge him, right, for not having them.
Yeah.
So even in this age and time, you think people still judge people based on?
Most certainly. I get asked all the time. Are you
Are you bikie? Are you in
biking?
gang?
Are you
or-
hitman?
Yes.
Drug dealer? I mean, I deal in luxury homes, windows for luxury homes. So I had a couple come from an exclusive part in Sydney, and
Yes.
she came in, and the very first thing she said was, "Oh wow, you've got lots of tattoos. I said, would you like a sparkling water?" And she obviously, but then at the end of the showroom tour,
Yeah.
she was eating out of my hand because the knowledge that I've given her,
Yes.
they didn't end up going with windows with us because they were still designing, but it just blew her away.
Yes.
And I think number one thing is don't judge a book by its cover.
Oh.
That's the number one thing.
What's in the book is not on its cover. Cover is just a fucking title.
That's
you
right.
gotta read the book and then see,
Yeah.
how good it is. You know what I mean?
But to answer your question about how do I deal with being judged, I get judged within the industry as well from the work I do.
Yes.
And that's okay. It doesn't bother me because my mindset is I want to go here.
Yes.
What anybody else has to say about me, I could care less. My wife knows who I am. I'm a good person. I do the right thing by others, so I sleep easy at night.
Yes.
Anything you can say about me, I don't care.
Yes. And I think in business, if you don't have tough skin, you better fucking get some.
Yeah. Then you shouldn't be in business.
You better fucking get some fast.
Yep.
Because there will be time. Being judged is the smallest stuff. I think it's just the handling pressure of business. That's why always when you see people like, I want to be in business, I want to run things. I was like, man, there should be a fucking university degree done for people just to listen to people speak how fucking hard it is. Then they can really make a decision if they want to get into it. Because I think going into anything not prepared, you're going to get punched in the face.
Yep.
Like you said, you used to do a bit of boxing.
Yeah.
For you to walk into the ring
Yeah.
with any fucking boxer not prepared, you're going to get punched in the face.
That's right.
You got to train, get
Sparring.
ready, learn thing or two about boxing before you get into the ring.
Yeah.
You take the time off, even if you had experience, you become, not as fit or whatever it is. So with anything, that education, and I think for any young individual, there's a few things they need to understand. Besides being hard, main thing is it's going to take fucking time.
Yes.
It's just going to take time. And thing in business, you can have 7 amazing years in it, and 1 year can set you back
Yeah.
from start.
Yeah.
And you have to be strong enough to say, I'm okay,
Yeah.
I'm getting up again, starting from zero.
Yeah.
Even it just fucked up 7 years,
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
That's where the strength comes in.
Oh, definitely. I'm a big believer of the 5 Ps. My mate told me that. Preparation prevents piss poor performance.
Love it.
And I thought, you know what, that actually resonates with me because you're right. And while you can set back 1 year, it only takes one deal to change your life.
And change your life for better or fucking worse.
That's right. But only one deal. And I always say to myself, people ask how are you today, Chris? And I'm like, I woke up, I'm breathing, I'm blessed.
What more?
That's it. I got a chance to do something.
Yep. 2 weeks ago exactly, I went to a funeral. One of my closest friends, he's 45 like me, his wife passed away. 18 months ago, she got diagnosed with cancer and she passed away. 4 kids. 16 years old, 11, 9, 7. 4 kids left behind her. What would she do now? What would she give to be with her family again today?
Yeah.
Do you think she would whinge by waking up in the morning?
No.
So anybody that's got a chance to live, any issues you're dealing, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You're fucking healthy. You woke up breathing. Even if you had a bad past, if you were alcoholic yesterday, today is a new day.
That's right.
You're alive.
Yeah.
Get up. Because you can ask, I always say, for anybody to understand true value of life, go and speak to anybody who is 90 years old. Mm-hmm. When you're 90, let's face it, you don't have fucking 80 years in front of you to live. You are counting your years or days. Just ask them one question. How fucking fast did life go?
Yeah.
Not a single one of them is going to tell you, you know what, Chris? It took me forever to get here.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to say that.
Yeah, I think when you look back in life and you look at kids, for instance, you see how far they've gone, like your friends' kids or your kids, and now they're adults. You go, fuck, that's gone quick.
I was talking to a friend of mine. I didn't see him. He moved away to Melbourne, and I didn't see him for 25 years. He had a son who was 9 years old. In my mind, his son is still little, because I feel like I saw him bloody yesterday. Even 25 years went fucking fast. And last time I saw him, I was 20 years old. I'm 45. And I said, "Hi, is little Mike." Little Mike is his son who's 10 years old. In my mind, I'm still thinking he's little. He said, "He's great. He's 34 years old now and he's got 4 kids." I was like, what the fuck? And his kids are like, 12 years old and shit. I was like, what? I said, he was so little. He said, yeah, Emil, he was fucking 10 years old and he's 34 now. And that's the time.
Yeah.
That is the time, What's next for Chris? Next 10 years?
Yeah, look, right now...
I know you're fucking hungry, motivated, you want to expand the business, you want to grow.
I'm still sort of grappling with that one at the moment. I mean, potentially expanding to Brisbane might be an opportunity there. Could be also another opportunity to scale the business and acquire other businesses and maybe exit. I really haven't gone that far ahead, but at the end of the day, for me, I think it's making sure that I've got a good life-work balance, even though there is none, and make sure that I'm present and I'm
on Sunday.
And I'm trying to better myself every day. But I think one of the biggest things, and I keep saying it, is I want to succeed, but I want to succeed with my whole team. So in the next 10 years, if I can build, let's call it an empire, and everybody in my team is sitting and eating the same food I am or close to, for me, that's me succeeding.
I'm going to read you a message that I got from one of my team members. And that this to me is, when you're starting, it's all about yourself, right? Yes. You're building it. And when you get to the certain level, then you need to make it about team of people that is actually working with you.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking for message. You would appreciate this. So I got this message, and I will show you here from one of my guys that is working for me.
Yeah.
He's been with me now for about 5 years.
Yeah.
He said, "Morning, lads." He's sending it to me and one of the guys that's working with me. "Just wanting to message you guys to say thank you. My house settled yesterday. This isn't a big noting text, but you guys have been with me from the start. 4.5 years ago, I had $16,000 in the bank and was fighting with everything I had to keep my head above water. And you lads stuck by me. I will be forever grateful for all your support. Love you guys." Today he's got 2.178 million in his bank account.
Amazing. And how does that make you feel?
Fucking, I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
This makes me feel better than me having this money in my account.
You can't pay for that.
This makes me, Literally, morning lads, just wanting to message you guys to say fucking thank you. My house settled yesterday. This isn't a big noting text, but you guys have been with me from the start. 4.5 years ago, I had $16,000 in the bank. I was fighting for everything, and I had to keep my head above the water, and you lads stuck by me. Love you forever. Grateful for all your support. I can go to vote tomorrow. He will say, have you ever seen that that fucking video that's running around on Instagram and YouTube? Guy called his mate and he said, I'm gonna pick you up in 30 minutes. Just don't ask why, don't ask where we fucking going. I'm picking you up. And he asked me what car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What guy picking me up in? So that to me is success.
Yeah.
When you are doing good and making others, pulling them with you, that to me, that I can't explain to you that feeling. That you can give me $1 million, 10 million would make me.
Because you can't put a price on that. You can't put a price on that. And I think it's, like I said to you earlier, I love seeing people succeed around me because it's great. It's a good hype. It's good energy. And at the end of the day, when other people are succeeding around you as well, it gives you something to aspire to.
The key is, in every person that we employ, there's a good in I like to think that there should be good in somebody, in everybody, right?
Yeah.
And helping them discover that good, because a lot of people that come and work for both of us, they maybe had tough times as well. And this gentleman, I won't mention his name, he had really tough times, and I even gave him money and support in every possible way that I could. But people that are going through hard times, as much as you want to help them in every possible way, on me, they still need to find that fighting spirit within them to get up and keep trying too. Because two of us, somebody might have issue, we can just say, okay, we'll give you money, but they may be still beaten. They need to get out of that fucking hole of not being happy to
It's
move.
like you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
I try to fucking force them, like drink it because it's for your fucking benefit, you know what I mean? But you can't.
And sometimes they can't see the light.
No.
And that's probably a hard part too.
And to be honest, that saying, there's a light at end of any tunnel.
Yeah.
The only problem there is some tunnels are only 100 meters long.
Yeah.
There's a motherfucking tunnel between Switzerland and Italy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the tunnel is like fucking 50 kilometers long. You're in there for like fucking an hour.
Yeah.
I was like, where is that light? And that's how it feels in a business. Sometimes you get into the shithole, it's like, fuck, it's all dark, and all good tomorrow, snapped out of it. But sometimes the pressure and the key is to be strong enough to handle going through that long fucking tunnel. And just when you think, okay, I got no more in me, please be light, and it's still fucking dark, and you still got to keep digging.
Yeah. It's like
to hit that light.
In business too, you've got to have the mindset that you're going to drive the car. Even if the wheels fall off and you run out of petrol, you now have to pick the car up, put it on your shoulders and keep going. Because it's not easy.
Oof.
And anyone that tells you it's easy, like they had a silver spoon or they got something handed to them? Or?
I think things in business and in life, things never get easier. We just handle shit better.
That's right. We learn.
Somebody says, Emil, how many staff you got? I was like, we got fucking 400 plus people that we are really, they're part of the group that we're looking after, and they're looking after us. And they said, how hard is it? I said, it's not how hard is it harder now than when I had 5 staff? That doesn't matter. What the thing is, we just learn how to handle things better.
Yeah.
And if I had today's problems when I was 25 years old, I would have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't prepared for the race that I'm running today. Today, to me, it's a cruisy.
Yeah.
It's like, what problems? That problems, few solutions, figure out the way to move forward, or yes or no, or whatever it is, and we keep going. We just, we grow ourselves as a humans.
How important is it to you, Emil, to learn fast in business? What would your advice be to somebody about learning?
We are living in a different times where we have no choice.
Yeah.
but to keep learning.
Yeah.
In business, if you're too slow, competitor might be faster, learner or adapter of things, he'll fucking crash you. You know what I mean? And so I think we got no choice. What choice do we have but to learn? Let's say new technology comes that cuts your fucking glass from, 10 seconds to 1 second. And every day you might save 3 hours. And that 3 hours might make you 4%, more competitive than your competition. You can say, I won't worry about this. I got time to learn about it over 3 years. And your competitor learns in 1 day. And next day he buys a machine that cuts it faster and is 4%. You're out of the game.
Yeah.
Just a small example. Not that I know how to fucking cut glass. But it's just we got no choice. Think about business 50 years ago. Well, I mean, I can't even think about it.
Yeah.
No phones, no mobile phones.
No.
How the fuck did you make a meeting with somebody?
My dad told me, you drive to the job site, you talk to them, and then you drive home. Or you drive back to your factory. I said, how did you organise your guys? Oh, you get on the phone, you ring them up in the afternoon. Oh, and you got to go to this job tomorrow. And then you drive and you meet them on site and you set them.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at that time, and technology and machinery, I remember, even to be honest, 30 years ago when I came to Australia, I remember as 15 years old, I was going from a factory to factory looking for work, so I can get a job and family can eat. Mom and dad and my brother, And I remember, I will never forget, I think I was 16 actually years old. I walked into one factory and one guy was so lovely, business owner. It was a smaller factory, maybe, 3-4 people in it, including him. And he was saying, see this machine, this machine is 40 years old, and he was proud of it. I was like, man, if you got a fucking machine in your business that's 40 years old today, as good as it is, you might be a little bit fucking behind your competitors.
Yep.
So answer to your question, Chris, what choice do we have but not to adapt things? But I'm also a believer in this. I can't learn fast with everything. Like, let's talk AI. My background is not tech. Do you know what I mean? And stuff where I think I might pick things up slower, not because I'm stupid, it's just not it's like, I can't go and play fucking golf. I am just not a fucking talented. Whichever way I try, whatever it is, I can't play with Tiger Woods, right? But in my field, I'm a fucking Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
But shit that I can't pick up, my thing is I'm going to find people within my own business that are faster learners than I am.
Yes.
And then my business is going to benefit.
Yes.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's very smart because
I don't know fucking everything.
No,
Is. And so do you either.
But you can't do everything.
No.
And I think that's an important part in business too, is if you want to have a successful business, it will come to a point in time where you have to take a step back and you have to employ the right people that are smarter than you.
And I always say, big mistake that us business owners can make is thinking we know it all.
Yep.
I got a saying, I know fuck all.
Yeah.
And my strength is I need to always look for good people. I mean, sometimes we make mistakes, and we employ wrong people that might cost us money and headache. But in general, my always thing is I always look for people that are good humans, but way better than me in their own fields. End of the day, they're thinking on my behalf, and my own company is fucking benefiting, right? But the key is for us business owners to let go.
Yes.
Sometimes we had a discussion, I'm not going to go into details, like, fuck Emil, I let go, but then somebody did something, then I step back into the business, and that's okay. You always will have those times where, you know what, I have let go, I got amazing people, somebody did something wrong, it's okay, you come in, you fix the problem, find somebody else you can trust, and life goes, you know what I mean? Yeah. The thing is, when we get burned, it's not fair to judge next person based on the person that you just had. It's like having a girlfriend or boyfriend that they're fucking terrible people. You break up with them, you can't say, I'm never going to have a girlfriend or boyfriend or a husband or wife again because of that person. It's not fair.
That's right.
So we can't fucking judge future based on the fucking past. Just got to learn from it.
Yeah, that's right.
But the key is to me is I just, I'm very good at finding people that are more talented than me.
Yeah.
End of the day, I have what they don't have, they have what I don't have, and we all have different different strength, you know, and people that are working for somebody, answer to you, whatever you're doing is, you know, what makes you happy, you know, and I always say, what you and I do, not for everyone.
No.
I love it.
Yeah.
I can handle it,
Yeah.
but ain't fucking for everyone.
No, and like you said before about, you know, whinging to people, like when you're your own boss, you choose this life. It's not going to be easy. And the last thing I ever do, the number one thing that I enjoy the most is the freedom. And, you know, you've got a license to print money. As hard as you work, you can reap your reward from that.
Or burn it.
Or burn it, 100%.
Whichever way, you're in charge.
It's your choice.
Your choice, you're in charge.
Yes. And you're not leaving it to somebody else. So as much as you want to work or as little as you want to work, it's up to you. You can make a lot of money in a short period of time, but it's going to demand a lot more from you.
100%. Chris, it's been pleasure having you on my podcast.
Thank you.
I'm very blessed. I say this to so many good people. I've been very blessed through One Life Club. We got connected, and
of course.
I consider you a friend now. And even you got too many tattoos. So I'm not going to judge you.
Thanks, mate.
Maybe because I got few too. So. But seriously, on a serious note, it's been pleasure knowing you, and you've been amazing sport, and I love that, you know, we are building a relationship with so many amazing people. You know, and last night we all had, you know, 60 of us at dinner at my home, and this morning we were in a saunas, ice baths, and having cold plunges, and having breakfast together. So it's good. In business, as tough times do get, there are still good people out there. You know, and I know sometimes when all of us are going through hard times, or when we're being wrongly done by somebody, you think to yourself, fuck, God, is there any good people left on this planet? There are good people out there, and you're definitely one of them. So
thank you, and thank you for everything, Emil. Really been a great pleasure. Last night was amazing. It's been amazing being part of the club, and thank you for having me on the podcast, mate.
Pleasure, man. We're going to do this again.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, James. Thank you.